quilt block that we are working for on the Live Well, Live Strong quilt. And this is the tiny foundation paper piecing quilt that we're working on. We need to count how many pieces are actually in this quilt. And you can see the paper that is on the back of the quilt. And you can see that this is foundation paper piecing. So there's English paper piecing, and foundation paper piecing. So this is foundation paper piecing. And what we are doing with it is we are using a piece of paper to be a foundation as we sew the fabric together. And it just gives you very precise, very accurate quilt blocks. So let's go ahead and go and learn how to make the foundation paper piece quilt block. This is a very simple one. You can get this through the Live Well, Live Strong quilt pattern. This is a pattern that you go ahead and pick up at Stitches Quilting. You can see I've got the classic version right over here behind me. It's 60 by 60 inches. And over here we've got the bed runner size. And over here, hi Liz! And over here we have the twin queen full and king size version. So, but today we are working on the tiny version, which is this 20 by 20 inch quilt right here. And this will be like a wall hanging. I'm going to frame some of mine. I'm going to quilt some of mine. I'm going to do some really fun things. So this is the Accept Quilt Block. The Live Well, Live Strong quilt is about a wellness for women with 26 different topics. So part of the pattern is you can print off the foundation paper piecing on just regular newsprint paper. So you can see mine that's right here. Question, will I be off the next week for the holidays? I want to maybe be doing some little holiday posts. And let me look. That's a great question, Liz. I love it. Next week is Heal and Genuine. Oh, gosh. We probably should. But I do want to do maybe some holiday things with you guys. So we'll see. But let's plan for sure on Monday that we're going to do a live. Good question, Liz. I appreciate that. So the Accept Quilt Block is actually 2 pieces on the newsprint paper. And ask more questions, you guys. Tell me where you're from. And you can see, as I've done, when you print this off, you're going to want to make sure that the 1 inch mark is for sure a 1 inch. So you want to print it as actual size. Do you guys have any ideas for next week for the holidays? Any ideas, guys? So this is my paper. Let's go ahead and flip the camera. So you're on the overhead view. I've got my glasses right here. And let's go ahead and get started. So we are working on, this is our original quilt block right here, and then our sample quilt block. And this was the actual, the size that we use for the classic version of the quilt, along with the other ones that are behind me. But we're going to go ahead and work on the paper piecing version. So I've got my small rotary blade. I've got my small scissors. I have my small ruler because we're doing some teeny tiny piecing for the quilt. So I have some pieces over here, and I like to work with my fabric in strips, which I've explained to you guys before. And I'm going to just go ahead and cut a strip off of this one. I like to just kind of work with my with the foundation paper piecing blocks in wider strips than the actual width of the block. And you guys, we need just a little bit. Oh dear, someone is calling me and I might need to answer this. Hi Brant, how are you? I'm great. Yes. Okay. The nurse comes between 11:30 and noon. So I'm just doing my live video right now, but the nurse will be there soon, okay, for her wound care. Okay. No, she has not been there yet. So the nurse will be there really soon, okay? And I've got everything laid out and prepared for the nurse. So, and then I'm just on my show right now. So yeah. So I just have to do my show right this second. Yes, she is still coming. Well, do you have to leave again? Okay, I can text message her. I can text message her. Don't. Yes, I will. Hi, Nina. Hi, Liz. Hi, everybody. Okay, no, she hasn't been there, but I will talk to you in just a little bit. Okay, Brant? Let me call you back. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, sorry, you guys. I never know when Brant calls me if something's gone wrong up there, but we'll be just fine. Okay, so, took a phone call from Brant. Yesterday, his pick line came out. So, it's pretty cute. Okay, so here we are. I have my fabrics for the Accept Quilt Block. And it's so fun to see you guys. Hi, Nina. It's so good to see you. So, we're doing the Accept Quilt Block here. For some reason, I used a red here instead of lipstick for the classic one, but I'm not worried about that. Okay, so I don't have my little scissors with me. I moved them to cut some Christmas things. I did lots of wrapping paper yesterday to send Jake all of his packages. Have you guys gotten your packages mailed out? Hi, Beth. It's so good to see you. Okay, so now all we're going to do on here, let's grab a pencil, is we're going to mark the colors. So we've got this lipstick pink over here in the corners. We're using a light blue. Let's go ahead and lay this over here. We're going to use a blue on these sides, and we're going to use a white on these sides. So let's go ahead and get section A and section 2, and you can see where I've just scribbled the letters of the fabric, so I have a key to help me know which fabrics to put where. Okay, so we're going to start. Our first one is A1 is white. So I'm going to grab our white piece of fabric right here, and I'm going to lay that up to the back of right here between piece A1 and A2. This is foundation paper piecing. We're then going to take our A2 piece of fabric, and we're going to lay it just straight on there, and we're going to put that side to side, and I'm going to stitch right on top of the paper. So let's go ahead and bring this down, and remember, you want to have a small stitch length. I am using a 2.0 on my sewing machine, so I'm going to just go ahead and stitch across there, and we're going to come out, and we're going to actually just use another piece of this fabric for the other side. So let's go ahead and string feed these. So we're doing, oh, we actually need the blue. So this side is all blue. We're going to go between B1, and this is a directional print. So the back side of the fabric will go to the back side of the paper, and then we're going to take our lipstick fabric over here, and we're going to just make that little square. And this is a solid fabric I'm using. So right sides together of the fabric, and we are going to go ahead and stitch just straight on that line as we piece these fabrics together. So right sides fabric together on the back of the paper, and then you're going to flip it around. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this under the sewing machine needle. Here we go. Let's pull these out, and we'll see if we have it accurate. Okay, we're going to press this real fast. I've got my little pressing mat. Let's snip that thread right there, and let's go ahead and press this open. And then we'll trim the fabric, and we will have our little square. We just need to add one more piece of fabric there. So I press these. Let's bring these over here, and let's trim them with the right side of the fabric, the foundation paper piecing print up, so we can go ahead and trim this just right according to the lines of this. So, and I'm going to just go over so I don't completely cut off my little line there and my little guide, so I know what the edge of my paper is, so we can see that coming together. The edges have been notched for you so that you don't have excess fabric, so you can see that one's ready, and you can see what that looks like on that side. Let's go ahead and trim off this excess fabric, and we're going to get this done. Okay, so, and let's go like this real fast. Okay, and we're going to trim over here. So we have that one done. And we're going to trim on this side. Okay. All right, perfect. So now we just go ahead. Hi, Grace. Oh, thank you so much. And hi, Linda. Yes, mine are going priority mail too. So I'm just hoping, I'm watching them as they go across the country to Jake. I am now going to fold this back. I have to attach the piece A1, A2 to A3. So I got 4 packages out to Jake that's in New York. My youngest son is serving a mission, and I'm going to take this little piece of cardstock and put it along that line. Now right here we have to tear our fabric ever so slightly, and I'm going to lay that down, and I'm going to trim this excess fabric right here. Okay, so we're going to just kind of trim that off. Let's do it to this one over here. So we've got this, and we're going to just see how that paper has been stitched just ever so slightly for the seam allowance. We're going to tear the paper where that seam allowance is, which is just fine. It's not going to hurt anything to have a small tear in there. You can see it's folded back. If you're not confident about folding it back, you can put a piece of cardstock right there for your fold. And then let's go ahead and just trim off that excess fabric, and we're going to match up our blue fabric, and then these will be sewn, and we'll just sew them together. So I'm going to put right sides together. This is a directional print, and let's go ahead and lay it on there. So yeah, I'm anxious to see my packages get to Jake this next week. I sent him a package that he'll get today that has decorations for him to decorate his apartment. And then I sent 4 other packages. I got packages shipped to other family members that we needed to send, and to Pennsylvania and to a couple other places. So I think everything's going to get there accurately. Hi, Delinda. Hi, Amanda. And then I've also been trying to look on Amazon. Have you guys been looking on Amazon to see the shipping dates of things that are available to ship on time for Christmas? So you can actually filter your stuff for Amazon and see what you can ship. Okay, so I've string fed those together. It looks a little messy. Let's go ahead and unstitch this apart. Let's press our pieces of fabric, and this is looking perfect. We just sew these 2 pieces together. So this is foundation paper piecing. We are using the paper as a foundation to stitch on. If you wanted to you could actually use muslin fabric for this. Muslin. I mean, sometimes in sewing you use muslin as a foundation to sew on. Let's go ahead and trim off our excess fabric with my smaller ruler right here. And so then that is off. I'm going to just give my little dog ears a trim because these are kind of pre-cut for you. It's not a straight triangle. And we're going to do the same thing here. Sew these 2 half triangles together, and we are going to get our stuff here. So look at that. Okay, here's our 2 sides. And remember, this is the Accept block for the Live Well, Live Strong quilt. And why it's Accept is because we could trim off that little bit right there. Is because as for women's wellness, there are times that we need to accept things. When I got divorced, the sooner I accepted that I needed to be a single parent and be content on my own, the faster I was able to kind of do everything I needed to do. I'm putting these 2 squares right sides together. I'm matching my points where I'm putting these together right here. So I for sure know that those are matching up. You could put a pin in the point to reassure yourself that you've got that matched. And then I'm just going to stitch along on that dashed line for my 1/4 inch seam of these. And that will put this together where the pieces will match. Let me make sure I didn't shift anything. I use these little teeny tiny pins on the bottom of my magnetic pin cushion. I keep them there because that's just where they always want to be, is on the bottom of it. And it's kind of convenient for me because then I don't lose them in with all of the big pins. Okay, so I'm bringing that across. And then the Accept Quilt Block. So accepting things in life can be really important, an important aspect of wellness. Sometimes we might frustrate ourselves. Look at how beautiful that is and perfect, all opened up. Let's go ahead and give this a little bit of a press. So we do want to accept things in life. We don't want to settle, but we do want to accept so that we can move forward or get super creative. So for example, say you're out of food at your house. Ashley, my daughter-in-law, we were talking about this, that she has been doing finals, so she needed to go shopping. But she decided to just use the food that she had in her house, and she had the best creative meal. And sometimes if we accept our limitations that we might be faced with in times maybe during a pandemic, then that acceptance puts you where you're using additional creativity. And that creativity is then getting it where you're solving a problem with limited resources and with the creativity that you have. So accepting things is an important thing in life to then get us so that we can push past those difficult times and start moving forward. So one thing that I shared with you guys earlier is Albert Einstein said, once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. So it's amazing what can happen when we do need to use our creativity. Accept is the theme. We have the Accept block this way because it's like the exact same thing. It's just mirrored and slightly different. But that difference makes such a beautiful quilt block. So those differences. So we also want to accept others and accept other people just the way they are. And we can set healthy boundaries with that. Anyways, you guys, that's what this is about. And I think it's also a great time during this holiday season to accept others and to love them just the way they are. So I love you guys. I will be back on Monday, and we will probably be doing a little bit of a holiday gift giving idea. And let me know what ideas you have, and it would be wonderful. So you guys have a great day. Amanda, I'm so glad your packages all made it. I can't wait to see all of mine make it too. We'll see you a little bit later. Have a great one. Bye-bye.